That's right, Lauren. It's time for another Tuneday, where we break down all of the new music and music news that you need to know about with Judd from Kiss 98.5. But before we get into music, you have to introduce me to the lovely lady who's sitting on here.
It's a furry edition of Tuneday. This is the puppy Sadie, who made a trip to TV this morning because she didn't have time to get dropped off at doggy daycare before we came in to talk music.
So tell me a little bit about Sadie.
Sadie is a rescue dog from Kentucky who was found at a kill shelter and then brought up here to Rochester. And we picked her up there, and she's a beagle dash hound, or like wiener dog mix. At least that's what we think.
So for when people hear on the radio, how often is Sadie with you when they're hearing you?
Sadie makes quite a few appearances at the radio station. She hangs out, and she's totally unimpressed with all of it. She literally sleeps through an entire 4-hour shift in her bed.
All right, so let's get to Tuneday, the music aspect of it today. There's a lot of new music coming out right now, so let's start by breaking down a few of the names that you're going to want to remember or know about. We'll put Sadie
we're gonna
down.
Let her run. She can just run through the studio. So the new music that's around, Meghan Trainor, who her song All About the Bass just went #1 in the country. She has a new single coming out in a couple of weeks called Dear Future Husband, and it is the perfect follow-up single to All About That Bass. It's literally kind of an open letter to her future husband saying, here's all the qualities I want you to have if you want to be my husband. It's very cute, very catchy, and I think she'll have a second #1 on her hands.
Now, is she continuing with the upbeat, sort of positive message and positive sounding music?
Yeah, Meghan Trainor's off of her new album title, or new EP. There's only 4 songs because she's brand new and she only had time to get 4 songs out. But it's a great sort of sound that is new to her. It sounds very similar to All About That Bass. Kind of that little bit full band, little bit of swing step kind of sound with the very heavy current pop sounds.
It's one of the songs you turn up on the radio when you hear, so I'm assuming this one's just like that.
Yeah, it's great. You'll love it. Check it out. Dear Future Husband.
All right, so we're moving on to another leading lady. That's Nicole Scherzinger. What can we expect from her?
Of course, Nicole Scherzinger from the Pussycat Dolls, and then she did she's been a judge on the UK version of the X Factor for a number of years. She has a new song, Run, coming out. Very different from what you'd expect from Nicole Scherzinger, who's had quite a few dance anthems and things like this. This is a straight-ahead, slow ballad. It's a very kind of topical song right now. When you hear the lyrics, it kind of, at least to me, came off a little bit about fighting against domestic violence and things like that, so I don't know if that's why this song was rushed out, but it's a very powerful song. The words behind it are great. Definitely a song to check out from Nicole Scherzinger.
And for people that don't know much about her, she is a classically trained singer, so she holds her own with the vocals.
She holds her own, and when you hear this, you can think of all of the things that she used to be with the Pussycat Dolls and even some of her solo stuff, and you hear it and you go, wow, this girl can really, really sing.
All right, so we're moving on next to an album that has been talked about. There's a lot of anticipation around it, and that is Tony Bennett and Lady Gaga showing off just both of their skill sets with this album.
Yeah, this is like the weirdest marriage that Hollywood, I think, has ever kind of put together, Tony Bennett and Lady Gaga. Lady Gaga definitely toned things down around Tony Bennett. I'm pretty sure probably because he wouldn't stand for her coming, into a recording session wearing like meat or something. But this song, it's definitely very different. You have kind of the silky old school vibes of Tony Stewart, and then you can see Gaga. She has quite a range and a voice, and is trained classically, and can hold her own next to Tony, and I think it's really a fun marriage that will be interesting to see.
Now, is this original music, or are they doing covers of old songs?
Doing a lot of covers. I think they do have a couple, like 2 or 3 new kind of duets on there, and this is part of kind of Tony's kind of go through. If he's done a couple of these kind of compilations where he's done duets with people. This one, of course, dedicated mostly to Gaga.
Now, is it going to be a little strange for you to all of a sudden get requests for Tony Bennett music on a radio station that's primarily pop-driven?
Yeah, it's the same thing when Michael Jackson came out with new tracks earlier this year after he had passed away, when they kind of brought forward new stuff with Timberlake and things like that. It kind of shocks you to bring you back around. What year are we in again? But it's nice, and I think it'll show people a little different side of both of them that you wouldn't really necessarily expect unless you kind of mashed them together.
And we have pretty big music news to announce right here on CW23. We're talking about the iHeart Radio Festival that just wrapped up in Las Vegas. Here are some of the photos from the big show. The entire show will air next Monday and Tuesday on CW23 at 7 p.m. We'll have a full recap of the performance next Tuesday with Judd, but just real quick, a sneak preview. What do you think we can expect when we watch this?
This is like the Grammys. Forget the awards and wasting time of that. It's just performance after performance after performance from the biggest names like Taylor Swift, 5 Second Summer, One Direction, and more. Macklemore made an appearance during Ed Sheeran, which I'm really excited to see because if you remember when Macklemore was here in Buffalo, Ed Sheeran came and made an appearance at this show. So clearly they're paying each other back with that. So I'm very excited to see it all happening next Monday and Tuesday.
All right, well, we look forward to our recap next Tuesday. Tuesday, of course, you can always listen to Judd right on Kiss 98.5. But right now we're going to send it over to Lauren, who's busy in the kitchen.
That's right, we got a lot going on.